Hi, this is Keith. I'm recording, right? Okay. Hi, this is Keith Trim with KeithTrim.com, and I'm in a combine in a soybean field with Neil Lucking, and he's agreed to show me the ropes on how to harvest soybeans. Hi, Neil.
Hello. Oh, what do you want to know?
How long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been working. Oh, we've been at this year about 10-12 days already. Something like that.
How about just in your past history? How many years have you been doing this?
Gosh, ever since I was 15, 16, been not quite 20 years. So.
And how tough is it to drive this thing?
Oh, they ain't terrible. There's some differences. It's big, but it ain't terrible to drive.
It's maneuverable?
Yeah, most of the time.
So how would you compare this to a lawnmower?
Well, it does some similar stuff, I guess, but it's quite a bit different from a lawnmower.
Oh, we're getting some shake, aren't we? I may have to go full handheld here. All right, here we go. We are cutting some soybeans. Yep. Here's the first question for you. Why are we going across the end?
Well, to get room to turn around on the ends, I gotta cut some off so that then I'll follow rows, but I need more than just a little bit to turn around on.
Okay, so this is just bumpy because you're going across rows.
Yeah, for the most part. The machine does shake
A little bit.
When you're running and stuff. There's always a little bit that'll shake.
So how many swipes can you make before you gotta unload?
Oh, depends on the yield, but this year crops are doing really pretty good for, I mean, last 2 years we've had good corn and kind of fair beans or whatever, but this year the beans are doing real good, so it don't take long to get a bin full. You got half-mile rows, usually just one swipe across them and get a full bin.
That's all it takes to have it, really.
Well, I mean, one's up and back, so 1 mile long.
So tell me this, how do you know where to set your combine?
Oh,
how many rows you do to tuck that shot?
Well, this farm that we're doing is on wide row. It's for a neighbor or whatever, but it's a 30-foot head, and wide rows are 36 inches, and so 3 foot takes 10 rows.
Good question for you. What's the difference between a wide road and not wide road?
Most everything anymore is all planted in 30-inch rows if it's in rows. Sometimes guys plant narrower, but some of the older stuff's still 36-inch rows, so that's what they consider a wide row. It's 36.
And why soybeans over corn?
Oh, soybeans don't need as much moisture to grow. Soybeans also put some nitrogen back in the soil and stuff, so if you most farmers will every other year swap them from beans to corn or milo or something.
Okay, here's my limited amount of farming knowledge. I've heard of no-till versus till.
Yep.
What's this?
This here, I think, is tilled up, I believe. Yep.
If it was no-till, it'd be much more flatter, wouldn't it?
Well, if it was no-till, you'd have the old residue there from the previous. See, here you got a few corn stalks, but if it was no-till, you'd still see the rows pretty much, or pretty close. Them stalks wouldn't be mixed around in the dirt. They'd all be standing there, and you'd be able to see them a lot.
Is there a benefit from one to the other?
Yeah. The no-till is what we do most of. It's with fuel prices as high as they are, you know, dragging iron through the dirt takes a lot of fuel, and so there's quite a bit of cost savings going to no-till, and then the fact that, you know, we don't live in heavy rainfall area that no-till, anytime you turn that dirt over, it dries it out, and you're going to lose some moisture.
That's a very good point.
With the no-till, you save as much of that.
Is no-till a recent development? Has it been around for a while?
Oh, we've been doing it for probably, I bet it's been 15 years or so, roughly 12, 15 years that it's really, I mean, basically when diesel got $2, you know, everybody thought that was terrible high, and that's when a lot of these guys switched and started going more no-till.
So it takes a special planter to get the seed in the ground?
You gotta have, I mean, stuff's a little bit more of a challenge. Yeah, it's harder to put a seed in the ground if it's not worked than if it is. So yeah, the no-till stuff has heavier down pressure springs and stuff in order to...
Does it basically just poke the seed in the ground?
Well, just to get it still uses a disc or whatever, disc blade to move the dirt out of the way, drop the seed, and then put the dirt back on top, but it just takes a lot more downforce to cut through residue or old crop stuff along with it.
So is soybeans just coming into season right now, and corn will be a little later?
Well, right now usually the soybeans go first. They're kind of depends on the year, but most of the time the soybeans come in first, and then the corn's a little bit later. But beans, if you don't, like right now, these are 8% moisture in the grain, and if you don't do soybeans when it's time, a lot of times the pods will pop open and you lose beans that way. They'll shell out. So everybody wants to get the beans done. Corn, it'll dry down in the field, and most of the time, unless there was some sort of disease or something in it, most of the time it'll hold an ear a long time. So guys will leave the corn for a little later.
Get the GPS in here?
Yep.
Pretty cool. So how much have we done so far, you think?
This machine, I've been over probably 800 acres of beans or so, roughly, and the other one's probably pretty close to that. So usually we cut between ours and all the custom that we have, they're usually around 2,000, 2,500 acres. So
well, let's do a plug for your boss. Who do you work for?
Terry Bramhall, TB Farms.